Hello and welcome to Beyond Power and Control. I'm Sybil Cummin, licensed professional counselor, approved clinical supervisor, and creator of Beyond Power and Control, which is a resource to help mental health professionals improve their work with victims and survivors of domestic violence. So today I'd like to take a minute and talk about hope. How do we deal with hope and holding hope in the therapy room with our clients? So there's two different ways that I see that coming up in working with this population. So on one side, there is the idea of we having to hold hope for our clients when they are feeling hopeless. And so that's a fairly common thing that we'll find ourselves dealing with. And on the other side is how do we deal with our clients who have hope or unrealistic expectations of how things are going to be and how they're going to change? So the one we're more comfortable working with is how do we hold hope for our clients who don't have hope? And so probably the greatest example of this that I work with is when one of my clients has a negative court outcome involving their children. So maybe they lost parenting time or they lost decision making with regard to their children, or they are going to now have to send their children to a home where the parent is not safe. And it's a court order, and so they are required to do these things. So often when there's an outcome like that, the next session in the therapy room, your client is angry and sometimes just completely hopeless. Nobody believes them, that no one's going to help them keep their children safe. No one's looking out for them, that they have no support. And so in those cases, it is important to hold hope for them, but not right away because they're not in that place. And so being really authentic in feeling that disappointment, maybe feeling that fear that they have, in feeling hurt, and really looking at how unjust our system is really important. So that authenticity piece and sitting with them in that is important. And then as you are helping hold hope and build hope for them, we can do this in a couple of ways. So we're not going to hold hope that the court is going to make different decisions right now, because we don't have any way to make that happen. And so we are really holding hope for our client's healing, that our client will continue to heal even through this horrible situation. We can hold hope that our client will be able to make choices that are in their best interest, that are in their children's best interest. We have hope that we can find ways to help them keep their children safe, even though we might be having to send their children to an unsafe situation. So there are ways to hold hope that aren't necessarily about those outcomes. I do hold hope for some of my clients with those outcomes, in helping them build the supports and build the things that they need, help them be able to regulate their nervous system so that they present well in a court situation or things of that nature, but really holding hope for them and holding hope for their healing and what they will be able to do ongoing. So on the other side I'd like to talk about is maybe more frustrating, in the sense that a lot of times our clients, especially when they first come in to see us, they have hope that their partners are going to change. They have hope that if they change a certain behavior, then their partners will no longer be abusive. They have hope for, the white picket fence and the happy marriage, the 2.5 kids, the cat, dog, whatever their dream might be, and they still hold hope for that. And oftentimes that is just not realistic. So how do we, without completely dashing their hopes and without completely harming the relationship that you have with your client to help them through what will likely be one of the toughest experiences of their lives, is, how do we do this with them? So I would say the number one word, actually 2 words, is 1, being authentic with them, and 2, being gentle. So as we gently give them some psychoeducation on abusive relationships and what domestic violence and power and control looks like, as we are going to look at inconsistencies in their experience. And partner says he's going to change and these are the changes, but then the behaviors don't back that up. We're going to look at those in a gentle way. We're going to kind of start holding that grief with them very gently, because the important piece is that gentleness and that authenticity and that belief that they will be able to make their own choices is what is going to help them start to build the confidence and start to be able to make choices on their own. Remember, again, we do not make choices for our clients. We do not want to replicate the power and control dynamic that they have with their partner with us. So we are going to help them, see if their hopes can come true or not. We're not going to just dash them and say, nope, that's not going to work. We're going to gently investigate these things with them and gently process these things with them and share what we know. We're not going to give them false hope in that regard, but we are going to be gentle in how we do that. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Sometimes it can be really frustrating when you're working with someone and based on their story, that they will continue to be abused by their partner and it's going to escalate in severity. To kind of sit with them in that false hope without bringing up their defenses and making the relationship between you and them not a supportive, kind relationship. And then also how to continue holding hope even when you, as a therapist, know that our system is very broken and it is sometimes does feel hopeless. And we can still hold hope for different things for our client in the room. So I hope that was helpful. Please join us, subscribe to my email list, which there will be a link at the bottom of this video, and hope to see you soon for some more tips and tricks on working with victims and survivors of domestic violence. Thanks for watching.